Alright, today we're going to be going over the Zombicide Black Plague special guest box from Stefan Kopinski. So let's go ahead and get this box open and see what's inside. Alright, one of these survivors can be used as a Necromancer. So the first thing we're going to look at is we get the Black Heart. Normal Necromancer rules. So this guy uses normal Necromancer rules. A 2 damage weapon attack or dragon fire is required to eliminate this guy. So if you're running a cabal or you just want to incorporate this guy in, he's a cool Necromancer because he takes 2 damage to kill, which brings a little bit more to the table than a normal Necromancer. We'll get into whether I like this guy as a player or not in a moment. Alright. So, let's look at her. I'll zoom in a little bit more. So, move over. She can start with an axe. She gets +1. Oh, her blue ability is she starts with an axe, and her equipment slot holds an axe. I think this is amazing because there are a lot of times I run up to a door, it's early in the game, or it's late in the game, I'm being chased by a horde of zombies, and I just want the door to open, and it takes me 5 or 6 dice to break that door down just because I get unlucky. So, starting with an axe at the beginning of the game, and having an extra slot to hold it so you can hold other stuff is just really amazing. It's a lot of utility that doesn't make her a powerhouse for killing. It's a really cool starter ability. She gets +1 action, and at the orange level, if she has a hammer, she gets access to 3+ damage, or +3 damage. Not 3+. She gets access to 3 damage. And I love having a character, if you're playing with extra abominations and bosses, I like having a character that can get to 3 damage relatively quickly. I don't like characters that start with 3 damage, like somebody having +1 melee damage at the blue level and starting with a hammer, because then abominations are never really that scary. But if there's a lot of things that require 3 damage to kill on the map, I like early access to it. A lot of your base characters only get access to +1 damage in the red zone. And if you got 5 or 6 abominations walking around the map, first of all, you don't even have enough dragonfire to deal with it. But you really want a way to get out of that terrible situation. And early access to 3 damage is amazing. Reaper's pretty cool, but again, early access 3 damage, I don't know why you'd ever choose Reaper. At the high end, she gets +1 combat die. She gets a free combat action, or taunt. Taunt's amazing to bring zombies towards you to get them off of your buddies. And how that works is you choose a square that has zombies in it that you can see, and they get a free activation to come towards you. So that's really cool. The other cool thing that you could do with that is maybe there's abomination and you already threw down the bile for some reason and he's not standing in the right square. Get in front of him, 2 squares away, taunt him to bring him 1 square closer, and then throw in the torch. So she's all around a good character. So I really like having her in a party. I actually play her in my group. And here's her model. Looks like she's pretty fierce and ready to chop some stuff up. Alright, let's look at the next guy. Azure. So what he is, I think he's supposed to be Drizzt, but he's got 2 blades, he looks pretty cool, he starts with Swordmaster, so he could dual wield 2 great swords. And how Swordmaster works is you treat every melee weapon as it has the dual wield symbol. So that's pretty cool. He gets an extra action at yellow like everybody else. In orange, he gets +1 die combat or a free move. Those are good things. In red, he gets +1 die combat. He gets hit and run. Hit and run's amazing. Reaper combat's pretty amazing. But I feel he's kind of a middle of the road character. He's pretty solid like all characters in the game, but I really don't like the utility he brings to the game. He doesn't bring enough for me. And I do like this, that he can hold a bow. That's kind of cool, but again, I'm not super impressed by this guy. And here's his model. He's got a great looking model. But again, I don't play him. Gar. Gar's awesome. I don't play this guy, but I kind of wanted to play him. At the beginning, he gets Reaper Melee. So if you handed him 2 swords, Reaper Melee, and you get an early spawn with several zombies, or you got... Well, that's not going to... Well, it could work for fatties if he has a hammer. But Reaper Melee is pretty awesome. After you assign damage and kill zombies during an action, you can pick one of those zombie types and kill an extra zombie of that type in your square. So it's very situational in the fact there has to be multiple of that type of zombies, and you didn't have to kill them all, but then you get a free kill on an extra zombie. That's a pretty cool starting ability. Later, he gets Bloodlust Melee, which fits his theme very well. I love that he can just run up, start chopping away at things, and be getting extra kills left and right. Alright, for his highest level, he gets +1 free combat action, hit and run, or rotten. Hit and run is cool because it lets you go up to some monsters, and as long as you get, or if you're in a cell with a lot of monsters, if you get a kill, you get a free move. You could use this to kind of wade through killing lots of monsters, or you could use it to get away out of a cell that has 10 zombies in it, because you don't have to pay extra actions when you get this free move to get out of the cell. Alright, rotten. Zombies ignore you if you haven't done anything that caused noise. That's pretty awesome. So he could just stand in a building, search. Oh, zombies are here. I'll just wait till they pass through to go to my buddies. He could search some more. Or he could get access to a Necromancer that you're trying to kill. He could take on the rotten, and then he could just wade through abominations and other things to go over and drop a Necromancer that's about to get away. But again, that's at the red level. So getting to the red level, you're probably already close to being done with the game by then. But rotten is a pretty cool ability. And he can hold a short sword in his in his other slot. This would be really cool if he's dual wielding short swords. In his offhand, you can put a torch so he can get extra searches. I like this guy, and again, he's a cool looking orc. Well, let's see. The camera's got focused back there. Not getting a real good image of him, but he's got a pretty cool looking model. Alright, the final guy that we have to decide whether we like or not is the Blackheart. This slot may hold an invisibility instead. So that's cool. I like invisibility is a cool spell. But his blue ability is really awesome. Zombie Link. Every time zombies get an extra activation from an extra activation card, not just any extra activation, but when they get it from an activation card. Let me double check that rule just in case I'm wrong. I don't want to be explaining that wrong to you. The survivor player gets an extra turn. Oh wow, a full turn. I thought he just got an extra activation. So, gets an extra turn each time an extra activation card is drawn from the zombie pile, before the extra activated zombies. If several survivors benefit from the skill, you get to choose their turn order. Wow. I thought that skill was just a free action, but he gets a full turn. If he started getting things like +1 combat action later, plus his other action, or spellbook, he could do a lot of things every turn, like anytime those cards come up. And as you have lots of spawn zones, you're going to hit those cards fairly often. I like this guy. I didn't like him as much before. The guy, I'm playing the girl version of him, the one that seems like her arms are missing or something. She has Zombie Link, and I really like her. I think I liked some of her later level up abilities a little more than his, but I didn't realize how powerful that was. That's amazing. You get a full turn. All right, +1 action. That's standard, it's cool. +1 to dice roll magic. This is really cool. If he has the relic and he's got Inferno and he needs 4 pluses, now he needs 3 pluses. You got a 66% chance every time you roll a dice of killing something. Later, he gets, we'll go back to, is that all you've got? Let's go ahead and cover that. I was going to go do the reds. I don't know what is that all you've got? I don't know what that means. So let's look it up. Is that all you got? You can use the skill at any time the survivor is about to get wounds. Discard 1 equipment card in your survivor's inventory for each wound he's about to receive to negate a wound per discarded equipment card. That's pretty cool too, but not as cool as 3+ Inferno. Alright, looking at red. +1 combat action, cool. Reaper, combat, for any type of combat, Reaper, that's awesome. Spellcaster. This guy's all around pretty good. I may have to look at this guy again. Zombie Link is strong, and I really like the +1 to dice roll. So you may not just want to use this guy as an extra necro. He seems pretty solid. Let's look at the model. He's got this sickle, he's got this staff, he's doing a chant. He's got horns on his head. He looks pretty evil. I think I still like him more as an extra Necromancer, but if you're looking for a cool spellcaster, this guy's pretty awesome. Alright, that concludes me going over this box. I think you get 3 really cool heroes, and the only one I'm not, and you get access to a Necromancer if you don't want to play him as a hero. This is the only guy I felt kind of meh about. Let me know if you disagree and you think that guy's actually pretty cool. Alright, thanks.